I'm Susan. Today I'm participating in the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge, and we're on week 8. And our prompts for this week is an accessory you wear, and this is another one of Christy's printables, and she has got all of this jewelry and everything on, and it just looks beautiful. A ticket, the title of a book that's on your bookshelf, and I've got the complete book of coffee. Vegetable plant or part of one. I've got these flowering chives. Something related to coffee, and this came from that book, the complete book of coffee. And I've got the coffee in the coffee cup and this coffee tin. And the bonus is lace, so I've got my favorite lace. So I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing pretty good. Without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty then, let's see where we're going to go with this. I'm just kind of going to lay these things down, see what we want to do with it. It is supposed to get up to 74 degrees Fahrenheit here today, and then tomorrow is supposed to be a low of 26 and a high in the 40s, so we get the strangest weather. You just never know from one day to the next. And you have to be dressed. We go from wearing shorts, or my sons wear shorts, to flannel pajamas. So kind of going along with the lines of this. And let's see. I think I've got some butterflies here that I will kind of like to use. I will decorate the. So maybe like that. Maybe something like that. Maybe kind of along those lines. The flowering chives doesn't really have anything to do with the other, but they are pretty, so okay. I like how that looks, so let's start getting it down. I have finished season 2 of The Killing, and I've gotten through most of the first show of season 1. I mean season 3. And it's so good. They finally ended the plot of the last one. It took 2 seasons to get through that. And it was so good, and they really got me at the end. It is just really, really good. Highly recommend it. My friend Barbie told me about it, and I'm so glad she did. And Barbie's of Nellie and Ruth Designs. Okay. Get everything kind of distressed a little bit. Talking about the weather, it was quite a few years back. In fact, my youngest son was still hadn't even started school yet. I can't remember the exact year, but I believe he was, see, I think Dylan was in the 1st grade. Caleb was Caleb's 2 years behind, but 3 grades behind him because of the way their birthdays fell. And it was warm. It was February 16th, which is the day I am doing this collage. So I guess that's why it's come to mind. But it was really warm. Of course, it's warm today, but it was a different kind of warm. It was windy. And we had, my mother-in-law and I, we used to, after we dropped Dylan off at school, we used to go to Humphrey Coliseum at Mississippi State and walk. And we got back home. I think we got groceries, that day. And I hadn't gotten in the house good after dropping her groceries off and bringing mine in, that I got a phone call that the weather was really bad. And so I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get Dylan early, because you know it just wasn't looking good. And before I even got to town, about halfway between where I live and Starkville, and there the wind hit, the rain hit, my little son was in there. We were both scared. I always joked and said that you know, I was Baptist, but at that moment I became Pentecostal. Because I was just crying. I had pulled over to the side because I couldn't see to drive anymore. A tree had fallen and was hitting the side of our van that we had at that time. And I kept trying to get out because my first thought was that it was a tornado. And I was trying to get in the ditch with my son, and my son would say, "Mama, I don't want to go out there in that." And but every time I'd open the door, the wind would blow the door back shut. So when I stopped, I drove into another tree that kind of had already fallen, and was hoping that, you know, it would kind of block us, kind of protect us. And so we stayed there, and we could not, I mean, it happened so fast. And once it was over, I mean, it was just over in, oh, probably, I wouldn't say it was more than 15 minutes. And I had a lady that I had used to work with's house. I stopped by there. Her husband was there, and she wasn't home. She had gone out with, I think, her sister-in-law or sister. And so they were missing. I was trying to ask, because at that time, my cell phone wasn't working. And I thought it was the cell phone tower was down. So I asked to use their phone, and I never could get through. Trying to get my husband to go by and get Dylan. And, oh, it was just so rough. And I couldn't go forward because trees had come across the road, and so I couldn't go forward. I couldn't go around where our church is. There's another, you know, way to town, but I was stuck there because the lines and stuff across the road. So I had to sit there until they cut us away. And then when I got that way, I was going through, and the line of cars was so long, and we just I was going to town, and then my husband saw me, and he had gotten Dylan, even though I wasn't able to get a hold of him. And he just pulled out and followed me to town, and we just left our van, or his truck, at a gas station while we went together as a family trying to get home. And it took us forever to get home. But I'll never forget that. It was the scariest thing I've ever been through, because I've never been through a tornado before. And it wasn't a tornado. It ended up being straight line winds. And we made it through. But boy, I mean, everything was destroyed. I mean, it was just pine trees were down. We were without power for over a week. And it was something else. So, because at that time we lived further out than we do now. And so it's usually one of the last places to get power when the power goes out, or multiple times power goes out. But it was something. I'll never forget that. Well, I just kind of talked through this one. It was pretty simple. Okay. Now I started to do the coffee rings again, but I did that last week, so I didn't want to repeat myself too much. But I've got the accessory you wear, I've got her jewelry and such, the ticket, I've got a title of a book in your bookshelf, the complete book of coffee, vegetable plant or part of one, I've got these flowering chives, something related to coffee, I've got the coffee in the coffee cup and the coffee tin, which came from this book. Oh, and my bonus is lace, so let me get my lace down. I almost forgot. But be sure and check out Margarete Miller's channel. Be sure and check out the hashtag 2024CW8 to see what everybody makes this week. I enjoy this challenge. Okay. And now I'm just going to lay that down. And I've got my lace. I think that's pretty. This lace comes from Dollar Tree and I really love it. It's one of my go-tos. Alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Ring that bell so you can be notified when I upload new content. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Y'all have a great and wonderful week. Take care. I love you. Stay safe. Bye, y'all.